My name is Michael, and this is my unofficial Motor Wars tutorial, episode number 1, Basic Play. Motor Wars is a multiplayer, advanced player versus player vehicular capture the flag. You will need a dedicated 3D graphics card to play this game. It does use up a lot of memory. You'll also want to close out all other programs that you might be running. And I even like to run a clean disk program and a defrag program maybe about once a week just to keep everything running smoothly. After all this, if you find that the game is still taking forever to load, it's not the game, it's your computer. You probably don't have the adequate hardware to run the game. For me, it only takes about 10 or 20 seconds to load the game, and the animation is fairly smooth. So if you find that the game animation in this tutorial is a bit choppy, it's only because I'm using a video capture program at the same time, and that reduces the frame rate by about 50%. It is my intention with this tutorial series to teach you all the tips and the tricks that I've picked up in the 2 or 3 months time that I've spent playing. But first, I want to familiarize you with all the things that you're going to need to know to get off to a good start and have an enjoyable time playing. So if you already know how to play Motor Wars, you'll probably want to skip this episode altogether, go on to the next episode where I'll be explaining some of the menu options in more detail and also showing you some of the basic flag running paths in every area. Now, if you're new to Motor Wars, you've probably signed in as a guest. I understand this. You don't want to make an account before you know you're really going to play the game. But once you've decided that you're going to continue playing Motor Wars, I strongly suggest that you make an account before getting too involved because you don't want to lose all those hard-earned experience points. The whole purpose of making an account is to save your experience points, which you're going to need to unlock more cars, better cars, that you're going to need to defeat your opponents who are more skilled than you. So let's begin. So after you've signed in, the first screen that you're going to see is called the lobby. And I would like to go into the details of the lobby, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I'll save that for the next episode. Because right now, you just want to get in there and play and see what this thing's all about. So the first thing you want to do is choose the arena or map. And you have 4 of them. You can click on these, on the pictures. This is the forest. This is the city, suburbs, and Halloween. For right now, just for demonstration purposes, we're going to go with the forest because it's the most popularly played one. And then all you do is just pick on one of these games that are already in progress. Just click join. And that will take you to the select vehicle screen. Right now, you're just beginning, so you only have 1 car. I like to call this one the bone car or the bone buggy. So just click on go. Here you are in the game, and you'll probably get blown up right away. That's okay. The main game premise to Motor Wars is capture the flag. Basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to drive to the enemy base, you're going to grab his flag and bring it back to your base. Every time you do this, you get 5 points, but you only get 1 point for killing an opponent. So all the experience points are really made in the capture the flag element. And also your experience points will double if your team wins, so you want to be a good team player and help your team to victory. The enemy's base is represented by this icon right here, and the enemy's flag is represented by this icon. These icons will aid your navigation throughout the terrain. But the first thing that you want to do as soon as you come into the game is to determine what team you're on, and one way of doing this is to check the team lists. And this is the red player list, and this is the blue player list. Right here I can see that my name is on the blue player list. That means I'm a blue player. There are some stats beneath my name. You can tell what level you're on. You can tell this K stands for kills, that's how many kills you've made in that round, and the F stands for how many flags that you've captured for that round. Now, if at any time in the game you're experiencing lag, there's two things that you can do within the game to improve that. And the first thing to do is to click on this white square over here, and that will take you to full screen. And full screen always improves the frame rate, makes the animation a lot smoother. The other thing that you can do is you can go to menu, go to graphics, and set your overall quality level down. This too will improve your frame rate. I like to have mine about here, but if you have a slower computer than mine, you'll want to set it down just a little bit lower. When capturing flags, you'll want to do this as quickly as possible, because the other team is doing the same thing, and if the other team delivers your flag to their base before you deliver theirs to yours, both flags will reset, and you'll lose your flag. Basically, you'll have to go back to the enemy base and start all over again. There are two full pause that you want to avoid in this game. Two things that you can do that will really annoy your teammates. And the first thing is to shoot them. You can't damage them, you can't destroy them, but it annoys them nonetheless, because you're on the same team. And you need to check what team you're on so that you know who to shoot. The second thing is when you grab the opponent's flag and you don't do anything with it. What you may or may not know is that your other teammates are probably waiting in a line at the enemy base, waiting to deliver flags for points. And if you've got the flag and you're just running off doing some silly stuff, exploring, and not getting back to your base, they're waiting on you, and they're probably going to be yelling at you. So if you've got the flag, if you find the flag in your possession, take it to the base as quickly as possible. If you have a desktop PC and you're right-handed like me, you'll want to have your fingers arranged on the keyboard like this, most likely. Your middle three fingers of your left hand will be on the driving controls. Your pinky will be on the shift, which is your turbo. And your thumb will be on the space bar, which is your jump. For your right hand will be on the mouse, and with the mouse you control firing with a left click, and if you hold in the right click you'll have targeting mode, which is handy because you'll be able to target behind you while driving forward. You probably won't want to mess with that too much though, because you're just getting familiar with the controls, and for right now just focus on the steering, and the other buttons will come into play eventually. So just roam about, explore, have fun. Sooner or later, your car is going to get stuck on a lamppost, on a tree, on a bridge, and a wall. And there is one thing that you can do. You can press the R button. This resets your car, and it's safe. There's no penalty for doing this. There's never any penalty for dying. You have an infinite number of lives. You can just reset and keep playing. And when you do that, it'll take you back to a default position. When you've gotten used to the controls, go on to my next tutorial, where I'll be explaining in more detail some of the menu options, and I'll also show you the basic flag running paths of every area. That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the game.